Hello and welcome to a special episode of our game here with Hinnom. Saramatia has the graphs. Posted the graphs, and so I wanted to go ahead and take a moment to go through them and what I think they mean for the game, and maybe speculate on why he posted them, and just sort of see where we're at. So first, so these are in no particular order. We have army size, so we can see we are winning army size, which is this is my second attempt at recording this because the first time I did this and then I spent a whole 10 minutes or something discussing how there's a gap here, which means that Saramatia is actually highest, but I actually just didn't scroll over far enough. So we have the largest army by a pretty good margin. Now, a lot of our army is made up of giant long dead, which are good, but they're not elite or anything like that. And some of our other troops are giants too. So we're certainly inflated a bit here. We have a lot of giants. We have giants. We've got long dead. We've got Mazikeen. And we've got a handful of other stuff. So I think we're a bit of a paper tiger in sort of reference to this graph. I think that we're not as strong as our army on here predicts. Now, and I don't know if other people will put that together or not. We can see Fomoria's got a great sized army. Also giants though, so again, probably a little inflated. We can't see, so Saramatia posted this and they didn't post themselves. So we can't see them. So we'll just have to guess. But Helheim and Marverni both substantially down here. Helheim obviously has great troops. If most of these are Hell Herdings, that's a huge problem. Marverni has okay troops. I'm not sure. There's certainly no Hell Herdings, so their army looks a little small to me. And Rillier doesn't really need an army. They're in the water. Not sure what their plan is for getting on land, though. So we're in number one on army size, but it's perhaps overstated. In Dominion, Fomoria is killing everyone. Now, maybe because I'm a newer player here, and I've misunderstood something, but this doesn't feel that bad to me. We just are not. I'm not. Their Dominion being strong doesn't do anything to us that I'm aware of. So, not sure. Fighting into them if they do Vengeful Waters or Dark Skies. If we try and fight into them and they do Dark Skies, that's obviously could be extremely bad. But besides that, not sure exactly what the issue is. And if they were going to do Dark Skies, we could try and blood sacrifice near the border to fight or something. So that's Dominion. Research, Rillier is killing everyone. They've got almost double our research. But this is not necessarily that bad for us. So to win, Rillier is going to need to fight every other player but us, probably, to get the thrones around the water. And them being good at doing that is good for us. If they do it. Fomoria is in a pretty solid lead over the rest of the land nations. Again, not sure where Sorrow is. Look at our research is just, we were in last for so long. So long. And it's only just as we've gotten the Lightless Lanterns online, I think, that we've started to trend upwards here. And we do definitely have, you can see here, we've got a little bit of an inflection. So we may be able to catch up here a little bit in research. We're definitely trending upwards. This combined with our army size makes us look like we're probably not a target on the land because we've got more research than most of our neighbors, except Fomoria, and we've got a bigger army. So that's research. I don't know what Rillier is doing. They don't have the air booster, the death booster, or the fire booster. I don't think. So I'm not sure how they've gotten just such a colossal research lead. I guess they just have a ton more mages, and maybe they're just good at research. So they're winning, but they're going to need it if they're going to get on land. And then this is the best graph for us. This is gem income. We obviously have so many more gems than everyone else. You can see this is Eternal Pyre, which just went up this turn. We have 3 times Marverni's gems, we have 2 times Helheim's gems, and we have another 40% or so on Femoria and Rillier. And we've had more. I mean, so right, if you count the area under, right, is how many gems someone has had access to throughout the game. And we obviously just have so many more than any other player. This makes us look like a colossal target. We have the most gems by a lot. Which means that A, we obviously could potentially be very, very powerful in the future to fight against, so maybe you want to fight us before we get more research. And it means that our lands are super rich in gems for people to come and try and claim. So that's potentially very dangerous for us. And we have a problem where we're the Austro-Hungary of the game in that we border now every other player except Rillier. We're landlocked. And so that's potentially very dangerous if everyone decided, hey, he's got too many gems, let's go liberate some. And part of this, right, we have we have 2 additional capitals. You know, we've got a couple sites with like 8 gems in them. So, tremendous lead for us on gem income. Very dangerous as well. Income, we're in second, which is fine. We need a lot of income to get our giants. I would say this is okay. Femoria is still in first, which is going to make sense when we look at provinces eventually. Forts, we're tied for the most. A lot of these are obviously the Machaka forts, and some of them don't have labs. But we're ahead in forts. Now, you know, there's been a lot of questions on to whether or not we've been too greedy on forts throughout the game. And the answer is yes. But when we look in comparison to a lot of the other players, so Femoria had 2 forts up before we had 1. Same with Marverni. We catch up a little bit. Helheim's again a little bit behind. One of these is going to be the fort we take from the monkeys, Kailasa. I think it's this one because I think we built our southern fort, built our eastern fort, took the monkey fort, and built the enchantress fort. And then this stuff, a lot of this stuff is Machacan forts, I believe. Because we took from Machaca 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And I think that sounds 1, 2, 3. That sounds close. I might be off by like 1, but it's close. So some of these don't have labs, so we're a little overstated here. And then in provinces, Femoria is winning by a decent amount. Again, not counting Sorrow, and Sorrow has a lot of territory. So Femoria has picked up territory from both monkeys and from Machaca. So they're pretty big. I don't know if they've got any anywhere else. They've just been sort of eating pieces of dying players. Yeah, they fought Machaca too. And I'm not trying to say that they're not fighting, but they've definitely been a part of, when we look at the players who have died, they've definitely gotten territory here, here, and here. Probably not there. And I don't know if they managed to get anything from the other 2, but so a lot going on there. So I think that we've done then everything. They didn't post in Ascensions points. So the interesting question is, what does this mean for us? What does it mean for the game state? And why would it get posted now? So what it means for us, I think that it getting posted is bad news. Because some of the things that you could count on your own if you really wanted to, I was just with some scouts, right? Like provinces, forts, and income are pretty much where we thought they were and where anybody else might have thought they were too. And we're not really winning those, except forts. And we're just tied there. So, so that's information that shows that we're strong, but not overwhelmingly ahead. But gem income, which no one could see, now everyone can tell we're way ahead. So painting a big target on our back, and then the research shows that it's close. Again, not counting the huge dominance of Rillier, shows that it's close. And so people might say, "Hey, I've got my targets. Let's go take a fight." And then the army size is helpful. That's hopefully puts the brakes on some of those people a little bit. So I think ultimately this going up is bad for us because we knew we were doing fine. I don't think I knew I was quite that bad. I thought I'd come back more on research, but I guess not. We're just way behind. So I think ultimately this is not good news for us. For the game state, Rillier being so ahead in research is certainly going to be concerning to all the nations nearby the water. But I don't know what Rillier can do with it. They're just so limited because of their abeloths and their inability to go on land without substantial item investment. So it's sort of a research leader that I don't know what they can do. They could start throwing up wishes eventually, which would obviously be bad. They definitely could be going for Nexus, which could be very bad. But even all those things together, they still need to get out of the water, which is tough. So it's an interesting game leader because they're so isolated away from everybody else. And then, so yeah, I could see us getting attacked. I could see people thinking that Femoria needs to be taken down a peg. I'm sure people want Rillier to be taken down, but they can't do that because they're in the water and going in there. You're just going to get mine hunted to oblivion. So I think this is bad for us. And then finally, why would Saramatia post it now and to everyone? So if you're Sara, you've had this information for a long time. So you've watched Femoria be at the top the whole time. You've watched us grow a little bit. So let's go ahead and bring all these back up and sort of think about what sort of recently changed that you might feel you need to do something about. Army size. Our army size and Femoria's army size have obviously skyrocketed. We were sort of, staled out here in our fight with Machaca, and then afterwards we started making more. Not a lot of movement here. There's no change that would probably prompt anything on this graph from these other players, just us and maybe Femoria. Dominion, I don't think you do anything about. Research, I mean, they're obviously way ahead, but they've been way ahead. So there's not necessarily anything to discuss. Besides, they are ahead and they will continue to be ahead. Gem income. This is the thing that changed this turn, right? Which is very concerning for me. Very concerning for me. This is something that maybe happens and you post it. You see this and you're like, you know what? Hinnom has twice the gem income of everybody else. We need to do something about it. And this one, no real change. Probably not what's important. And forts is the same deal. So the only thing that's, I think, substantively changed is us. Now, why tell everyone, right? If you wanted to fight us and you're worried that we're the game leader, you have the information. You could just take these graphs, take whoever you want, include whoever you want in or out, and send it to our neighbors and say, look, Hinnom's a problem. Or look, Rillier's a problem. Or Femoria's a problem. And from there, right, you sort of do some warmongering. The risk there, obviously, is that person shares your information with whoever it is you're mongering against, but you wanted to fight them anyway. Maybe somebody thinks that it's, poor form and they fight you. It seems unlikely. So the other reason, so the world is now, once Archocephaly falls, which should be very soon, the world, I believe, is at peace. as far as I'm aware. We're at peace, and I haven't been told of any other conflict. And I don't think when we look at, let's go ahead and look at provinces again. I don't know that we don't really see a lot of evidence of conflict, right? We don't see big ups and downs that you might expect from a war. Like we don't really see any evidence of raiding here. These drops are all the throne of Gaia, I believe. So you maybe you're sorrow when you're looking at the world and you're like, hey, the next person that gets in a war could get ganged up on. And so you just sort of throw this grenade in the room and you see what happens. And say, well, we're gonna try and little finger this. We're gonna climb. The chaos is a ladder, and we're gonna climb it. Borrow Lanka's chaos power. So maybe that's it. Maybe there's some other more obvious reason that I'm overlooking in the analysis that I've done here. But ultimately, I think a negative for us because we don't learn anything super new besides how far ahead Relier is, and maybe that Femoria is sort of largest in general. But people now know how much our gem income is. So, very interesting. While I don't think it's good for us, I do like seeing it. It's fun to do this video and throw this out here for everybody. So, we'll see if we start getting anybody's ending their nap anytime soon. I'm concerned. I'm concerned that the next thing we do is we get a nap ending message from all of our neighbors. So, thanks everybody for joining me. We'll go ahead and see what happens coming up. But just interesting and wanted to share. Everybody have a nice day.